Good afternoon. This is the first test of the Ferguson Mark 1B vacuum, and just introducing you to my test subjects. Notice I've got a wasp right in the middle that I'm trying to avoid, but I've got some bees. Yesterday I had 50 bees, but in the interest of full disclosure I asked them if they all wanted to participate, and there's only about 17 come back today for the first test. And so that's my test subjects. I'm going to vacuum those bees up from the watering trough and see how many survive. And over here I have the components of my bee vacuum. Over in the far corner is a standard Vax vacuum cleaner. It's about 30 years old. It's missing its inlet pipe, but I've found one I scrounged from somewhere, and it's plugged into 240 volts from the mighty SA Power Networks. Working today. It's not too hot, so everything's working. That's good. And I've got a pool vacuum hose here, and this is the inlet where the bees will end up. And now this is the nozzle that I'm going to pull out, and this is an adjustable nozzle. You can pull that out or turn it around, whatever. If you want a bigger hole, you can just use the raw pool vacuum hose, or you can narrow the nozzle down a bit. It's very hard to operate this one-handed and hold the video in the other hand, but there it is. That's the choice. It might be too much of a pressure. And here's the bee vacuum. I'm going to disassemble. It's sort of semi-assembled at the moment. I'm going to disassemble it and then reassemble it. So the top box is the where the bee vacuum, so the vacuum cleaner pipe goes in, and I'm just going to take this off and we'll reassemble it. And that's got a screen, as you can see, to stop the bees getting up into the vacuum cleaner. The next box is a standard 8-frame hive box, and you should put some frames in there with foundation so they've got somewhere to go when they come in. And I have got another a screen with a slidable screen that you can pull out to drop the bees into another box, or to put another box on top and pull the screen out so that they can join the two boxes without getting exposed to the angry bees that have just been vacuumed. And one of the other YouTube members said that vacuum bees are pretty angry bees, so I'm doing this on it's a very docile 17 bee subjects at the moment that have got a belly full of water, I hope. And at the bottom part of the box is the inlet, and I'm going to plug the pool hose with the red end into the hole here, and you can see the net, it's now connected, and there's a ramping board there so they don't hit anything solid. And the idea is that they'll come in there and go up the ramp, and then go onto into the frames that I've now assembled. Or trying to. I've now assembled that, and between each box I've got some sealant, basically standard weather seal. You can use anything, a bit of rubber, or I've just I spent $5 or $6 at Bunnings. I spent more than that at Bunnings, but I bought $5 or $6 worth of weather seal. And then on top of that, I then add the inlet box with where the vacuum comes in. Make sure it's all lined up. It's all lined up, and I'll just put I've got a jockey strap and some hooks here to keep it all together. And some off-centre hooks there, which don't do very much because they just pull it off-centre, so they're not very tight. What they do help to do is to hold the pressure adjuster, which is this sliding arrangement here with some Western red cedar floorboard or wall boarding, of which I have a small supply over there, calling to my son. And some slots cut in the top, and you just adjust the pressure as you slide that along. And I've got some very well calibrated numbers here that I haven't worked out what they mean yet, but after my first test I'll know a bit. And so when it's fully closed you've got full pressure, and when it's about halfway open you've got virtually no pressure, and you can open it right up. They're just saw cuts, very, very carefully calculated to roughly equal the area of the inlet hole. I did a bit of mathematics, and the area of the inlet hole is pi r squared. R is the radius, and the radius was about 20 millimetres, and so pi r squared of 20 millimetres is about 120, and I've got more volume, more surface area in the slots. Now poking the vacuum cleaner hose in there, so it's all now set up, and the next noise you'll hear will be the vacuum cleaner starting up. The red light's on, and I press the button, and I should now have vacuum. You can lift the whole box up, holds together, and over this end, this end, I should have vacuum. As I've got sucking my shirt, and I've got a reasonable amount of vacuum. I'm just going to back that off a little bit from my first test, and I'm going to operate at about 7. You can see the number 7 there, and we'll see how. In fact, I'm going to change that to 6, and change that and see if it'll suck the bees up. So stand by, and we're now going to move over to. Looks like I've lost a couple more bees. I've now only got 16 left, but here I go, and I wasn't looking there. Unfortunately, it seemed to be sucking up water as well as the bees. And what I'll now do is hopefully the bees have made it into the top, and turn the pressure off, turn the noise off, and wait to see how many bees I've got. That's the theory. Might need a bit more pressure, probably not by the water side, because I seem to be sucking up a lot of bees. In fact, I had a lot of vents open here, and lo and behold, whoops, I've got some bees in there. How about that? We'll just let them out and they can go back to where they came from, hopefully not realising that I'm the person that did that. So you can see I sucked some bees up, and they're crawling around quite healthy and very docile, as good test subjects should be. They get a good reward. They're now heading back to the water, and that's good. And here they are. I've got a few more come back, so I'll now crank the pressure up and try not to suck so much water up. I'm going to stop this video and start again.